we have this data, and also from UPS Capital, we provide insurance coverage for the transactional cargo and transactional packages. So what we could do with all this data that we have, right, and build a solution for our customers to solve this problem, at least to help customers, to mitigate this risk, right? That's where we came up with this DeliveryDefense Address Confidence score. So what we're really, this slide kind of summarizes this, right? The essence behind it. So all these, so I gave you the package figure. So we took historical package information. So of course, when this slide was made, it's like 11 billion packages we took, right? And there's 130 million. So now it's about 135, 137 million addresses that we could identify where package got delivered. And then we have all this claims information that we see through the data. Then we have all these returns issues through the data. Then you have delivery attempts, so multiple delivery attempts. And then there are different features from the package. These are like the big elements in the model. And then once we have this, then everything we're doing in Google Cloud, right? The BigQuery is really the workhorse behind it. And then, and this is where we are pulling data from all these different UPS sources, and also we're using Stream to pull all this UPS Capital information. So, we know, right, if you don't have the data into one place, there is really no ML, there is no AI. So that was the biggest thing for us, to build that foundation, the data foundation, where we could have all this data that we need. And that's where we're using BigQuery. And then from there, we're using Vertex AI. And then this is where we built our own proprietary ML models. And then so we're taking all these and we're running through Vertex AI. So these are all the features that are going into model. And then we build this address confidence score. And this thing has been in kind of keeping that credit score, keeping in mind, because people kind of relate to this. So it's in the scale of 100 to 1,000. So 1,000 means that there is absolutely no issue. What we're seeing through the data, we can confidently say that these addresses are purely no issues at all. But the lower you go in the score, then where we see most of the problems. And then one interesting fact, if you see on that graph to the right, that actually 2% of the addresses, that's where most of the problems we're seeing. So 35% of like the losses that originate from 2%. So that tells us actually most of the addresses are pretty safe. But then again, we're talking about 2% of 130 million, which is a big number. So that was the first version that we deployed, and then we are implementing more features to the model, right? So we are introducing like the latest loss frequency. So earlier we're looking at just the historical data. So now we are taking the recent events that we're seeing, and then so the models are getting even better and better, right? And then we are taking all these different volume characteristics of each of the addresses, and then we're overlaying on the score. And then one thing, our customers, when we first get this solution, right? A lot of customers say, well, when you have a low score or a high score, what does it really mean, right? Because they want to know that customers really don't care how you come up with this, but what it really means, right? So we kind of came up with some description. When I say the score is 350, is it because a lot of losses, because of the delivery issues, or because of the returns? So we kind of implemented that. So that really helps the customer, and they know that why this score is, a low score versus a high score.